Hello and welcome to this episode of Storm King's Thunder. My name is John Girdbed. I am the GM for this campaign. We rejoin the action as Borrowed awaits a gift for Milo.
The gift.
From
the item.
From the enchanter I am currently calling Victor.
Powder? You didn't copyright Victor, fucking Mercer!
You head back to the airship, and sort of about the same time, Milo and Chupa are both returning to the airship.
Borrowed would hastily sort of hide the thing, the present, and just say, so Fenthwick and, Hector just left.
Well, really?
Yeah, that's why I got this cool spear.
That sounds sick.
Oh.
Milo gets pretty sad because he knew that he was in a little small squad with them. Could have missed them. Were they alright? Did they manage to have some food? No. I missed them.
Yeah, I think, Hector kind of, like, said something about, his quest needed to be continued and stuff, but,
Man, it is such a good thing I remembered to slip some stew in his travel bag. Man.
You did what now?
Well, I thought, I didn't know what everybody's plans were for today, so I made sure to pack everyone something to eat. And they all liked my soup so much.
Just because my skin doesn't get greener when I'm sick, you know what? It was lovely.
Thank you.
I haven't tasted it yet. I just, haven't got a chance.
Unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but someone tipped over the what? So, it's all gone, and that's kind of sad. I was gonna scoop it up, but then all of a sudden, someone came in with, a bucket of water, and then they tripped, and the water washed it all away, and, they apologized. They felt really bad. It was weird.
Borrowed looks
So there isn't any left.
away.
Somewhere deep within the earth, that will moulder, and that'll be the big bad of the next Christmas crossover.
Soup that Chupa made. Oh no! Wait, Chupa made an ooze. Chupa made an ooze. We ate it.
You're going to do that one episode of Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I need to first see Cowboy Bebop, but I've got time.
You need to. It's very nice.
Yeah, you do. You need to watch it.
For shame! How dare you have not seen that? That is a classic.
It is
It's
definitely
such a good-
classic.
Anyway, Chupa and Milo and Borrowed and Yaghole all return to the castle that evening and decide that the following day they really, 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 after all of this time, need to take a rest. And seeing as that they are already at a coastal town,
Beach episode, motherfucker.
they decide to head to the beach.
We're getting in our bikinis.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm hearing C.
Oh yeah, I prepared for this.
Oh, amazing.
You don't do a beach episode without some ambience.
Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside.
Unfortunately, Milo's not much of a seaside person.
So would you guys like to describe briefly your beach attire and activities?
Chupa's in an absolutely fantastic red and gold mini bikini because that's what she does, and if she's got the assets, she's gonna show them off. The only downside is it also shows off the myriad of scars that cover her from practically just below the neckline of her tunic to her toes.
Fair enough.
But she's still
Boro-
got huge titties, so that works.
She's still getting huge
course.
titties. It's absolutely.
Yeah. Borrowed has sort of a nice almost like a sky blue button-up shirt that isn't buttoned at all. He's not wearing an undershirt, and he's got sort of just these loose-fitting shorts on, very different from the typical breastplate and armaments that he usually has. Coincidentally, similar to Chupa, there are not as many scars as Chupa has, but there are several. They almost look like blast impacts around his torso, and yeah, and a few more scars just sort of around his general abdomen.
Oh my. Milo. I decided to change it up a little bit after what I said to you, John. Milo is just wearing like a gigantic shirt, like a t-shirt, and it's so big. And the fact is that it's actually covering almost his legs up, and the fact is that he's got a lot of sunscreen on his face, and he's hiding on a large umbrella with a book on his side. And he's just like reading it like, I don't want to be here, it's nice and all, but no. But he does have a kind of a swimsuit underneath kind of thing. It's like kind of a one suit kind of thing, but it's like a blue and white you know, the average blue and white stripe you see in
Like the old
shirt.
Victorian
Yes,
style
like that.
swim outfit.
But he's just wearing a large thing. But the thing is, though, is that since he like stood out to be in the sun, right? The freckles that you see now, right? There's small freckles all over his face, and it's getting all over the place because he is also going red because he's like a pale ginger kid.
Aww.
So he's literally just like, I don't want to be here, it's burning me. Puts under an umbrella and still somehow gets burned.
Yaghole is basically just all. He's going all like. He's got the shorts on. He's got these like, you know, like tight. They're not tight, but you know what I mean. They're some sunglasses on because you know D&D sunglasses, and it's got, you know, like when you put like a little bit of sun cream on your nose. It's like that. His hair is slicked back in a ponytail, and he's strutting his stuff. He's got a massive shovel. Time to build a sand castle.
Chupa's just pumping her arm. Woo woo, you go Yaghole.
What's it? Our boobs elevate whilst you do, like,
Absolutely, they just jiggle as she moves her arm.
whilst this is happening, I'm gonna bury Borrowed in the sand as well and make him make some boobies. Put some shellfish on them.
I have my cat Merlin fight Milo's cat Merlin.
Have we got a barbecue as well? Or is Tube?
I could...
Tube, you still got any of that stew?
No, but I can start fires by doing this.
And just a fire.
Fake eggs on her body.
Oh dear.
I mean, I did bring barbecue stuff if we wanted to set that up.
Duh. Anybody have a sharpened stick? We're at the
Several.
ocean.
Several.
Fish, motherfuckers.
Actually, Milo actually like gets a piece of bacon and just goes straight towards Chupa with it. That's how it works. And he's like actually like holding the umbrella on top of him as well. He's like, eh.
Chupa's just snatching fish out of the water.
I brought steaks.
Steak.
Dragon steak. But it might shock you a little bit. What it
We're
is to
at
cook.
the ocean. I'm making fish.
I brought spices this time.
Oh, awesome. Oh, by the way, did you know that you could actually eat this green stuff here? You just gotta
See?
kind of scrape it off the rock, and then you lay it out to dry, and then you wrap the fish in it, and then you stick it on the fire. Oh wait, no, I feel like I missed a step. Oh yeah, you gotta take the scales off. I forgot that one. It's not very good.
Yes.
So you stick it on the sharpened stick, and then you put it on the fire, and then you just rotate it slowly, and then you eat it, and it's really good. I feel like I forgot another step. Oh yeah, the bones. You gotta take the bones out, because those don't taste as good.
Too crunchy.
Milo will ask Borrowed to go shell hunting with him.
Borrowed will accept. After setting up and leaving Chupa with explicit instructions to debone the fish and actually put, seasoning on it before she just eats fish. And then go seashell hunting.
Woohoo! Chupa may or may not have accidentally stuck a whole bunch of poisonous jellyfish and rockfish and stuff in with all the rest of the food.
Yagahol turns to Chupa and goes, "What do you think of my sandcastle?" And it's like a literal 10-foot castle, pristine. Looks like Beauty and the Beast castle, immaculate. What do you think?
Badass.
Yeah, I'm not really happy with it, but it's something, isn't it?
Well, I mean,
It's not
short
fun.
notice,
It only took me 5 minutes. I'm gonna dig a hole. I like
Diggy
digging
diggy.
holes. I'm gonna dig a hole. Stereotypical microaggression. We like digging holes.
Dig that hole.
I'm gonna dig a hole.
Yaghole digs a hole.
Just disappear. uh,
Borrowed returns and subtly removes all of the fish that shouldn't be eaten from the selection that is currently being barbecued. And then you all enjoy a nice fish supper as the sun starts to set.
I feel like this food was a lot more colorful about an hour ago.
Usually it should be usually the less colorful. The more colorful it is, the more poisonous it is.
And your
Poisoned isn't good.
I mean, no, but all you gotta do is enjoy the good bits. Just don't eat the poison bits. Duh.
And people don't know that.
I'm gonna teach you how to prepare puffer fish later.
This is the part where Borrowed looks at her going, "How the fuck are you still alive?"
Yeah, it's mostly that. It's mostly.
After getting comfortable, Milo takes off the large shirt and is just wearing the swimsuit underneath, and even leaves behind his umbrella, and grabs Borrowed's hand as they go hunting for the seashells.
Go shell hunting. It's good.
Very cute.
Okay, yeah, cool. 10 gold says they're gonna be making it right there on the sand.
what? I can't hear you. It's 10 foot down.
Echo, echo, echo.
Yeah, cool.
I
Milo and Borrowed are fucking on the beach.
just dig behind you. Just come out.
Oh,
It's nice and cold and.
Oh, cool. I bet money that Milo and Borrowed are gonna be fucking on the beach.
How much?
10 gold because they are so cute and
You know what? Hang on. Let me. I think I've got one. Pulls out. One of those gems. The throne. There you go. I don't know what that is worth, but it's probably worth a bit. I'll match that.
Awesome. Kiss them, Milo.
We're just sitting there like that. I don't know how far we are from Milo and Borrowed, but we're just sitting there
Just Yaghol's head popping out of a hole in the sand.
Quick, let me build something so we can hide under it. I built some chairs.
What we need is a Jamaican crab to start singing. How good is your Jamaican accent?
You got. I could do reggae shark.
What's
we need
what's
like
Jamaica?
we need something softer, like sha la 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 la.
There you see her sitting across the way.
There you go. There you go.
I mean,
It's all good.
There we go. We've got him. We've got him.
that doesn't fit the scene, but
It doesn't. Not particularly.
there's not a her or a girl to kiss, so
So
There
he
you
starts
see
back
him
in the
sitting
sun.
across the way.
okay.
Milo.
He don't got a lot to say, but there's something
Something
about
about
him.
him.
I didn't think
And
it was
you
karaoke
don't
night tonight,
know
guys.
why, all you know. You try, you gotta. He's there, boy.
Um,
That's so good. Jenny. That's so good.
Borrowed.
Yes.
At what point are you going to give Milo the present?
I have a present.
Probably on the way back to the castle from the beach episode.
Okay.
I like how
Like
it's
just
each episode.
as the two of them are holding hands and just sort of either in a little bit in front and out of earshot of Yaghol and Chupa, or lagging a little bit behind.
And so we'll skip to
Cupid's
there
got
now.
like a-
Are we like heading back to castle now? Or just
Yes.
like taking them like
Yeah,
That
just
means-
as a scene setter, Chupa's carrying a huge net full of fish, and about 90% of it is poisonous.
And Milo is officially red and full of freckles. the sun cream didn't work as well for him, so he's
No.
like completely red, and he's like, I feel really, really painful right now. It's like if you were to poke him, he's like, it hurts.
Milo,
Yes.
this seems about as good as time as any. And Borrowed pulls out from his pocket just a sort of no, it wouldn't have the cloth on it anymore. He pulls out this very ornate looking dragon bone wand.
Oh,
I made something for you.
that's amazing.
Yeah, I spent the day at the enchanters too. It should have something extra.
This is amazing. Thank you.
No problem.
Hugs him, even though he's in pain.
Prestidigitation so it's cooler on you, leaving a little bit of it. Moves you back.
Milo,
Yes.
as you take the wand, you can feel the power within it.
Oh yeah.
This is a +1 wand. Any spells that you cast through it, if they are attacks, you get +1 to the attack roll.
Oh yes.
And if they deal damage, you get an extra +1 to that damage.
Man, you really gone out on this one. Made me feel like the necklace I made was so much.
No, I love it. And he sort of fiddles with it as he's wearing the necklace now.
Big, just like does a big grin. Okay. Well, I really need some sort of cold bath. Ow, ow.
Yeah, let's get you inside.
This is the reason why I'm always wearing a big shirt.
Fair enough.
Chupa.
Yes.
On day
see that.
4, while everybody else was, while Borrowed was at the enchanting shop, Chupa went on a walk around the town on her own, and you spotted a notice board.
Yep.
On the notice board, you spotted a standard notice with a seal that you recognised as your old mercenary crew. the poster proclaimed that a town nearby on the outskirts of Cormanthor Forest was suffering from a larger than average number of people going missing, and they were looking for somebody to go and investigate what was happening in the forest.
Huh. I've got a job. Cool.
How would you like to tell the group that you are?
She's in the middle of frying extremely poisonous fish. And she looks at Borrowed and goes, by the way, I'm gonna go pick up some merc work. You wanna come with me?
Sure, what sort of mercenary work? Also, that's a... If you eat that, you will die.
I'll be fine.
If you feed that to anyone else, you will die.
It's
Or
not
they will die.
missionary work, it's merc work. Basically there's this forest thing not far from here, and people keep disappearing. So it probably is going to involve a lot of killing things. You interested?
I feel like I'll be needed here at the castle in the next couple of days.
That's true. I mean, if I'm not here to cook, I guess they're gonna need somebody to help, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's fair. So, I mean, like, it'll only take maybe 3 or 4 days, depending on how bad. So, I mean, I'll be back pretty quick. So, if you could just make sure that the castle doesn't go drifting off without me, that'd be great.
We won't leave without you. And if it takes you longer than the 3 or 4 days, we'll come look.
Probably a good idea. Probably a good idea. Though if it takes me longer than I get lucky.
In what
Why not?
aspect? Oh, in that
I don't
aspect.
know.
Oh.
Probably getting lots of really good meat off of whatever I get.
Oh, just or the tongue or something. Or just once you get back, tell me what it was. I could probably make something out of it. But yeah, no. Go have fun. I think. Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of, since I'm going into these woods, do you want me to look for anything, any kind of plants or whatever, or these spices that you like so much?
You know what? Actually, yes. It's just like a forested area. You said.
Yeah.
There's a mushroom that I've actually been kind of wanted to try.
Don't bother.
well-
Don't bother describing it, cause I'll forget. Just draw it and stick it in my pack.
You know what? I'll do that. It's less of a mushroom, more of a giant flower that puts people to sleep and then eats them. So, if you come across that, just
I'll
scoop
see
it
what
up
I
and
can
I'll.
find.
Yeah, just it's usually on the like the bottoms of stone archways or giant trees, branches and stuff. It should be fine.
As you do.
It'll be fine.
On day 6, after the defeat of Imrith, Chupa rides out from the castle on Malkior, and the
She gives
castle...
Bob-
Sorry.
Just so Barrow doesn't feel bad, so he doesn't feel like everybody's bailing on him, she entrusts him with the care of Bob the Doom Chicken so that he knows she'll definitely come back.
As you ride off, Borrowed is holding Bob the Doom Chicken just above his head, like Link style.
Yeah.
Do not kill my chicken.
I'm not gonna kill your chicken.
Holy fuck,
don't
it's
know.
morning!
Well, I like Bob. He's like the best chicken I've ever seen.
Thank you.
Of course he's the best chicken. She's my chicken. Stop misgendering my chicken.
Love Bob the Doom Chicken. She's great.
As Chupa rides off into the distance, Milo, Borrowed, and Yaghole take the castle. And while they arrange to come and pick Chupa up again after the Merc work, they head down the coastline towards Waterdeep. On day 7, Chupa finds herself in a town on the outskirts of the Cormanthor forest and finds herself lodging and somewhere to stable Melchior, and then starts just generally wandering the roads around the vicinity of the last known locations of these people that have disappeared. And after about an hour of following the trails, and there are a number of well-travelled routes through the forest, Chupa spots something that stands out to her. There's a set of footsteps that seem to be deeper than the rest of the normal footprints around the town. And it leads away from the main town area and then suddenly turns deeper into the woods. And so Chupa cautiously follows it. And slowly picking her way through the forest, she follows this trail of oversized footprints. The forest itself starts to become more desiccated the further in she goes. The trees are either petrified or dying, the pond water is stagnant. Eventually she catches up and she hears the heavy footfalls of the creature leaving the tracks. Chupa sneaks closer to the source of the sound and sees a humanoid biped with heavy metal armor stomping through the woods. And she silently, or as silently as Chupa ever does anything, sneaks from tree to tree, using all of her skills of stealth to follow the armoured creature as it lumbers awkwardly through the forest. On at least one occasion it stops moving and Chupa freezes, thinks she's been spotted, but then the creature starts walking again. She follows it for a few hours, or for just short of another hour, and it seems to be walking with purpose, but it stops a couple of times along the way, and at least at one point it pulls a parchment from its pocket, although Chupa is too far away to see what's being read. She continues to follow. Meanwhile, because I'm going to cut back and forth between the action for a bit, about a 10-day after the group defeated Imrith the Dragon, the castle has made its way back to Waterdeep at the behest of Yaghol, who asks for a couple of days of privacy in the town. Borrowed and Milo decide to spend some time in town, and Milo wants to catch up with the Krigabor family.
Yay!
Lunan is very happy to see the pair of you and offers to prepare a hearty meal for you, which she of course promises to share the recipe for with Borrowed.
Yay!
Over the course of the dessert, having caught up with small talk and delighted to hear your victory over the dragons and the peace with the storm giants, Lunan grows quiet. She finally reveals that something has come to light recently after your letter arrived tied to a raven, which was odd. They might have a lead on the disappearance of Merlin.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
The Krigabors clear away the dinner, and Lunan brings forth a couple of documents that have recently been found, letters, missives from Merlin before he vanished, where he talks about investigating a tower. Lunan reveals that this is the last place that he is known to have been headed. And while this would have been a few years ago, it would be the best lead that they currently have for what he did immediately before he disappeared.
Yeah.
It is a few days' travel away from Waterdeep along one of the trade roads, at least for a little way, and then turns off on an abandoned area of the coastland where the tower once stood as a lighthouse warning to ships. Lunan asks if the pair of you are going to investigate.
Yeah, Milo's.
Yeah.
She reveals that it is known as the Stoneheart Tower, and is said to have housed a magical artifact that would have almost certainly drawn Merlin's attention. A magical mirror that is said to show your heart's true desires and how to make them come to pass. Borrowed and Milo manage to secure themselves some mounts and head out onto the road. A couple of days pass, and you both camp under the stars. You enjoy each other's company before you turn down a dark and disused trail towards Stoneheart Tower.
Ooh, enjoying each other's company, are we?
Oh, step off.
The tree line eventually fades away, and a deep chasm with deep running water separates you from the enormous tower that peers over the coastline. There is a bridge over the chasm, but it seems to be crumbling and eroding. What will you do?
Well, I think it's Bard is gonna cast Levitate on himself. Without the use of a spell slot, because that invocation is so cool. Flare is also going to be out, and Bard is going to pick up Milo, and Flare is going to drag, well, I say drag, but just gently take the two of them across the bridge without touching it.
You flutter and land on the other side of the bridge, and a 6-foot wide ledge encircles a 60-foot tall tower. You can't see any windows on the outside of the tower. As you get closer, there's a high-pitched screeching from the sky. You both look up and see a giant eagle cawing as it soars on the breeze, and quickly descends to land on the path between you and the tower. It looks at you both and spreads its wings.
Hello there.
It doesn't make a move towards you, just eyes you up and down and screeches again.
Yes, you don't want us to go in, huh?
It seems to nod its head, pulls its wings in.
Huh. That's new. Usually I have to cast a spell. Can you understand me?
It doesn't move, but you do get the feeling that it's smarter than just a wild animal.
If it's not too rude to ask, who are you? Because I've got a friend who can do a sort of a similar thing.
It caws loudly and fluffs its feathers up, and then glances back to the roof of the tower. And you can make out on the top of the tower 3 stone figures, one of which is looking down at you.
Hey Milo, were those there before?
I can't remember.
Bard's just gonna wave. Hello.
the stone figure that is looking at you starts to move awkwardly, pulls itself off of the ledge, and wings open behind it.
It's not one of those gargoyles, is it?
It takes to the air awkwardly, like someone who's been asleep for too long, and just lands heavily in front of you. It does have the appearance of a gargoyle, but it opens
Hello.
its mouth and attempts to speak.
You know, if you give me 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, I can get a friend who can just wait a second, and Borrowed will start to cast using one of his actual spell slot, Conjure Elemental.
He
To
looks
bring
He looks confused. He realizes that you don't understand what he's saying, but he will just stand and wait.
throughout the entire time, Borrowed just going, hold on a second, just wait, hold on, wait, hold on, I'm almost done, hold on, wait, just throughout the entire 10 minutes.
Meanwhile, back in Waterdeep, Yaghol,
Yes.
what are your plans?
Okay, so I'm gonna head up to where I take it that everyone's still where Briar is, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna head up to where Briar is still.
That reminds me. It's Luna. Jennifer, what is Luna? Where is Luna currently? Because if she's still aboard, would she
Yeah.
actually take? Would she actually like decide to live with Kay and Maud, or somewhere else?
She'd actually literally stay with Briar. She'd be at Briar's side, just sleeping there. She hasn't left.
No, I mean like there was a place that she can go. It would be Kaylin and Maud's place as well. The
Yeah,
little
if she ever left, or one of them like picked her up while she was unconscious because she passed out because she was busy watching over her baby, you know.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Maud will be the one picking up because the Kate can't do it because she's pregnant. How many weeks has it been since Kane's left?
It's been
Now.
about a month now, I believe.
Okay, I just need to
So, like, is Briar's resting place near? You know when we had.
Briar is in the Spire of the Morning, which is a large church in the centre of the upper northern region. It is a large, ostentatious temple with gold spires.
Okay. Yeah. So obviously Yaghol is going to be making his way up there. Obviously he's alone. He said hello to the guys in the house before. The giants are happy to see him. But he's obviously asking where Luna is. I approach the memorial. What do I see?
It's sort of a interesting cross between a hospital wing and a morgue. There are a number of families that have the resources to be able to keep their dead loved ones in gentle repose. It's not like they're not. They look like they're sleeping. Laid out in beds, covered head to toe, not on display, typically not with many visitors, with the exception of people that the clerics, the priests, nobody can get rid of. They do try to explain to Luna on a regular basis that they are not it's not a place with visiting hours. And while they do accept that people want to come and grieve, the dead will be perfectly fine here. If she just wants to maybe spend a day somewhere else, or just have a bath.
She has ice and water powers. She can just douse herself if she starts to think she's smelly.
I'm fine.
I assume that Luna is there wearing the same sort of long black gown that she wore when she left the group, and probably, like herself, it gets washed every once in a while when she douses herself with water.
I think Kaylin would pretty much like visit her to give her food.
Okay, so obviously I pay my respects to the clerics that are there. I want to assume that I'm, obviously walking with speed and, obviously I'm like trying to give myself a bit of confidence here.
The clerics bow to you and say, "Lathander be with you."
Okay, thank you. Even though Lathander, yeah. Thank you. Ilmater will be with you as well. And I'm sure they'll...
they accept this.
well. They accept this, yeah. Is Luna there? Is there or Kaylin there as well?
Not at the present.
Not at the present, okay. Luna?
Yaghol, what are you doing here?
We've completed our task, and I thought it'd be best to come and see you as well, and Briar.
I thought I felt something. It was the dragon done. I must admit, it is a relief.
Have you been sitting here all this time?
Of course, how could I leave her? I told her I'd stay by her.
She's in good care with the clerics. I've just had a word with them.
Yes, well,
But
I told her I'd stay by her side.
that is true, but I'm not here for Briar.
Oh?
I am, Yaghol's, he's getting shy, but he's trying to, as a he doesn't show it.
Yeah.
I've actually come here for you.
For me? Oh, please don't tell me that Kaylin's asking you to take me home. I'm not married.
No, I've not seen Kaylin. I've not seen Kaylin. Obviously, Kaylin's expecting, so I'm sure. Has she got bigger?
A bit.
That's
She
amazing.
comes in from time to time. The baby is developing well. I'm quite happy for her.
As you can see, we killed. We sorted out with the giants, and we had a major battle. As you can see, I'm doused in armor.
Yes, it is very impressive. That's new, isn't it?
Yes, have you not noticed in the center?
Oh! The shard! You kept it.
Of course I kept it. It meant a lot to me.
I'm glad. I hope it was able to help.
It was the symbol. And I made a promise to myself when we had a hard battle, when we fought the dragon. I said to myself that if we survived, which was a very low percentage, but we did do it. Somehow an acid orb fell on the dragon, but that's... I promised myself that I would be honest with the person that means a lot to me.
Oh?
Yaghol just do I have a cape? I need like a swish cape effect here. Like,
For the sake of this, yes, you have a swishy cape.
yes. So
Oh, God.
Yakol just swishes his cape, goes onto one knee, like bows, bows down, head down. I've given it thought, and all I need is one question, and all I want is your hand in proposal of marriage.
Why?
Nanny.
After when I met you, you was very rude. But it's just your personality. Over the journeys that we've had, and I've grown stronger feelings. When we had that chat, I knew that there was some feelings that you felt, and I couldn't have done this journey without your, how would you say, inspiration. You've inspired me to carry on.
Me? But I'm just. I mean, I'm not even me anymore. I'm just a person, and I don't. I mean, are you sure?
Yes, I am. And to prove it, obviously I pull it out, and it's like this immaculate ring that's like the sun. It's like brighter than the sun. And this here, it is made with my heart, with my soul.
I've been sitting here a long time, and I have to admit that not all of this time have I thought about Briar. I've wondered about you and our friends, of course, and hoped they were well, but there's something I've been wondering
What is?
ever since we spoke.
Yes.
And I think if I think that much of you, and I was hoping you would come back. Not just you, but all our friends, but I thought... I'm sorry, I feel stupid. I don't know how to deal with this, but I wonder if maybe these fond feelings I have for you are more than just fondness. I think maybe I care about you, too.
I know you made a promise to Briar to look after her, but who looks after you? That is my duty. We can settle down in Waterdeep here.
You would do that for me, but what about all your work and your Are you sure?
I can always give my part-time with the clerics here. I can also run a blacksmith, and I can run a blacksmith.
Well, absolutely. You know I would make sure that you had only the best materials to work with.
Oh, I don't serious. As long as we have each other, that's all that matters.
Really?
Of course.
But, well, I mean, I don't really have much I can give you other than the money I have.
I don't want your money, Luna. I just want your love. Your happiness.
If that would please you, then I think I would like that as well.
All the clerics are just watching, just like, what the fuck?
Just
They're just like, "Ah."
one stood by the doors, just lip trembling.
You haven't given me an answer yet.
Oh, right. Yes. If it's what you want and it would make you happy, it would make me really happy too.
Is Luna like crouched down, like next to Briar, like like just someone's just like leaning down.
Yeah,
Would
pretty
she-
much.
Yeah. Okay, I just stand up, pick her up, grab her hand, and just put the ring just on the thing.
Well, you can't lift me like that. I'm too heavy. Oh my goodness.
For a dwarf, I am very strong.
Well, I know, but oh my goodness. Okay. We really should see Galen and Mort. I'm sure they'd be happy to see you.
Let's leave Briar with the clerics for the moment. I'm sure. Briar, we'll be back.
Yes.
You just hear. I can just see Amy. And it's okay. Go.
There's a bronze plaque affixed to the end of each of the beds. And at the end of Briar's bed, it just reads Briar Gardinier, 1477 to 1491. And as you leave, you spot the one on the bed next to it. Suetha Sourfang, 1466 to 1491. And as you leave, Yaghol, hand in hand with Luna, the cleric at the door reaches down and puts a hand on your shoulder.
I turn.
You've done a good thing.
She needs me.
She needs to see more of the world.
She will with me. And
Honestly, they're just glad that you're getting her out of there. They're like, oh, thank God.
Pretty much.
you know, like Ace and Shira stack them on monk building.
But now may the guidance of Lathander and all of the deities be with you, because with her you're going to need it.
I grab his arm, I grab his hand, and I clasp both my hands into his hands, eye contact.
Why?
And say, "Thank you for looking up. She means a lot to me. But this isn't the last time that we will see each other, my brother. We will be visiting Briar here again.
We will keep Briar safe for you.
Thank you very much. And I know that they don't like bribes or anything, but I will give him a few diamonds just for, you know, to give to the gods."
He will take them and say that your donation is graciously accepted.
There we go. Briar, just Briar's over at the end. We'll see each other soon, Briar. And then, come on, my darling, my love. We shall now go and spread the news.
Yeah.
Boris burst into tears. Let's go and find the others.
Suddenly, Milo and Borrowed in the distance are suddenly crying in happy tears, and we don't know why.
I feel like something happened and we weren't around to.
Aren't you guys gonna meet up with us? Like, you could always try and find me. Yeah.
Meanwhile, let's change gears a little. Because we're gonna cut back to Chupa now. So this is a gear shift for Jennifer especially.
Yeah.
Yes.
You hear a rustling in the trees and a deep roaring voice. Flesh! Come and play, flesh.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that sounds legit.
The armoured creature whips round to face the echoing voice as a weird patchwork creature lumbers out of the tree line, one large arm like a club, face drooping to one side, its mouth just kind of unfinished and stapled together at the edge. Scars cover its surface as if it has been literally sewn together, stapled, nailed in places. It launches itself at the armoured creature. We want to play.
That sounds good. How about I join the game? And Chupa just jumps down with her flame tongue.
And Sean?
I will be pulling out my mace and whirling on to defend against it, as well as possibly the seemingly crazed tiefling that suddenly appeared out of nowhere.
What?
The large patchwork creature lumbers into the armoured thing. Wait! Not flesh, not fun. Then turns to see a tiefling flying into the clearing with a flaming sword in hand. Ah, here comes the entertainment.
For me, maybe. I haven't had this much fun in a while.
The flame-tongue longsword burns brightly as it sinks into the creature's patchwork form again and again. The creature chuckles and the flesh stitches itself back together again after each assault. Its large club-like arm sends you battered across the clearing. The armoured creature fights with a large mace and flings forth mechanical spiders that crawl across the surface of the creature, bursting into flames and searing its flesh. Eventually, the combined onslaught of the pair of you overwhelms the creature's ability to put itself back together again, and slowly, still chuckling, the creature slumps into separate pieces once again.
That was fun. I haven't had such a good time like that in forever. Hey, nice to meet you.
That. And that trust what him eating. Grabs it. Well met.
You are baller with that mace, my friend.
I know how to use it when I need to.
I can tell. Name's Chupa. Nice to meet you. Well, actually, it's Cal, but pretty much everyone calls me Chupa now, so.
Okay. Chupa.
Yep.
I go by Steel.
Nice to meet you, Steel.
Nice to meet you too.
So, are you here for a thing, or like here for the work?
I came here for this. And pulls out a folded up bit of paper and unfolds it and shows a poster explaining about the missing people.
Right. Great. I'm actually here for that too. So we can work together.
Chances of survival will increase with two attempting the task.
Well,
So-
that and it's more fun to kill monsters with more than one person.
I suppose.
Well, the way I look at it, odds of us finding the source are probably going to be better if we follow this rot. Because I'm betting this has something to do with it.
Seems the best course.
And
You
so
don't talk much, do you? You kind of one.
the pair of you walk towards the centre of the corruption, and the sun begins to descend in the sky. A low fog begins to pick up as the night draws in. Chupa with her dark vision and... How is Steel seeing?
Steel will be using... He just attaches 2 little beads to the corners of his eyes and then presses them, and 2 little, almost like dragonfly wings, go over his eyes, and he seems to see fine in the dark.
Where the hell did you get visor contacts? That is awesome.
As
Now
you-
vision contacts are gonna
I
be
may-
dragon. That's cool.
As you press into the night, the normal sounds of the forest are long forgotten. Animals don't come here anymore. The colours almost seem to drain from the landscape. You both keep walking towards the centre of the corruption.
This place is gross, and it smells like shit.
Some sort of... doesn't seem natural, magical in nature.
Nah, really? What gave you that idea? Noobs.
The fact it's not a natural looking thing.
Eventually, you find a large, twisted hut standing in the middle of the swamp. Gnarled roots seem to spring from it, 8 in total, burrowing into the landscape. In front of the hut, a large creature's skull sits atop a fire, a foul substance bubbling within.
Ew. That stuff smells awful. That's gotta be where the smell is.
Most likely.
Ugh.
Some sort of cauldron. Maybe a witch or hag.
Probably. Or some kind of necromancer or something with all this death and decay. Either way, it's gross.
You can hear a low muttering from inside the hut, and as you start to get closer, the door just flies open, and a withered old woman in long black robes stands framed in the light of the hut. Oh, my dearies, I didn't realise I was going to get some company tonight. Do come inside. You'll catch your deaths out in the cold, and then where will we be?
Thanks for the outfit. Wait, nope. I'm a little less worried about the cold and a bit more concerned about the walking amalgams and the roots coming from your house that seem to be leeching the life out of the earth.
The cold doesn't particularly bother me. We're conducting an investigation which led us to your home.
Well, aren't you both so polite? Such nice visitors, not like her. So mean to my darling son. She looks into the distance for a moment before snapping back to look at the pair of you. Tell me, do you know where we are? She pulls a jar out of the folds of her robes and empties its contents, a fine brown powder, into the skull, which causes the concoction to bubble more viciously and spout a thick smoke.
Wait, what? The woods. Hey, have you? Okay. Have you seen any weird rambling creatures that want flesh and can, sew themselves back together?
And to answer your question, we are in the forest of Cormanthor, but please answer my colleague's question.
Her head snaps to look at Steel for a second, before returning her gaze to Chupa. I've changed my mind. You are metal and boring and nothing more. This one is like me, filled with fire. Would you like me to read your fortune, dearie? I can see what the future holds for you, little daughter of flame. Maybe if you are nice to me, change it around some. Give you something nicer to look forward to. That Raven Weaver can be so dull.
Right. Thanks for the offer, but I'd rather face my future the same way as everyone else. Besides, it makes life more fun. Now, you seem like a very smart lady, polite too, and in my line of work that's pretty unusual and refreshing. But I am working, so do you think you can help me out here?
A smile spreads across her lips, but it doesn't seem to stretch to the rest of her face. I'm only trying to help, little daughter of flames and destruction. She doesn't take her eyes off you and dips the end of her walking cane into the bubbling skull, giving the concoction a swift stir. I'm sorry, I'm just a little disoriented. She looks past your shoulder for a moment and then snaps back to look you in the eyes. You said flesh creatures? You mean my scouts?
Yep, and I appreciate the offer. It's just not my thing. That's fair. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say you didn't mean to end up here. But if the flesh sky things are your scouts, I've got to apologize. We might have destroyed one for attacking us. Sorry about that.
She takes the staff from the skull and just sniffs the end of it, and you can see the wood is starting to blister and blacken. They are quite loyal, but easily replaced. Think nothing of it. And no, I'm lost. You see, I'm in the right realm. At least, I'm looking for someone, a group of someones. Someone who harmed my son. The blossom that goes before a fall, and her little lapdog. The orc so held by his past that he can't see the present. The moon and the sun separated for so long and finally together again. And the captain. I liked the captain, but I want to tear the rest of them apart. Especially that bitch. And
Wait a second.
she spits the word out like it's a foul creature, and you can see a spider falls to the floor and scurries back into the hut. Are you going to help me find them, daughter of the fire?
I can, but you've got to stop hurting these woods and the villagers. They haven't got anything to do with this, so it's really pointless to be killing them off. Look, why don't we start with the simple thing and you tell me who your son is?
You cannot seriously be considering helping this. She's the reason for these disappearances. She admits to creating dangerous abominations.
Would you shut up and let me work, you motherfucker?
She doesn't pay any attention to Steele. Almost like he doesn't exist since she dismissed him. He was strong and he was good and he didn't get what he deserved. She turns to walk back to the house, the door opening on its own to allow her inside. She reaches onto the shelves by the door. And still you can see a man bound in a chair with elven features, wearing a baby blue suit.
She's even holding a man captive while we speak. Do you want to do her a favor?
May work.
The old lady